through the left side, base hit! Downing is in to score, and DVC walk it off!
That's high snap. He looks down the middle of the field. He's going to throw the goal route. Has him in the middle. Intercepted, taking it down the far sideline. He steps out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage, and that's how you cap the game up.
Sierra Smith quickly worked around, feeding the hot hand. Jasmine got it! 3 threes for number 23.
Who finds Edwards? Edwards needs to get the shot up. Pulls up a deep three. Able to knock it down!
The counter-attack. Here comes Carla Ramos forward, looking for Noelle Lemus. She's gotten by the last defender. Valentine comes out. Noelle drills the keeper. Lemus! And that is a DVC victory. And the Vikings are champions of California!
Welcome to Vikings Stadium for the final non-conference match here in Week 5 of the 3C2A football season. As the lone Friday night game, all eyes turn to Pleasant Hill, California. The 0-4 Shasta College Knights head down to the Valley to take on the number 5 ranked Diablo Valley College Vikings. My name is Max Agres, your voice of the Vikings. We'll start out with the Knights from up north. Shasta College had some tough outings in the beginning of this season between the 35-32 loss against Monterey Peninsula College, the squad that is currently riding a 12-game winning streak going into that one. That was a tough one. And then a gut-wrenching loss, 35-34 in overtime against Reedley last week. The Knights are finally looking to get over that hill, trying to get a win today and looking for a massive upset. In that last game against Reedley College, Shasta battled back from a 28-14 halftime deficit. Freshman running back Trevin Crane exploded for a 51-yard touchdown in the third quarter to ignite the start of the comeback, and the freshman quarterback in Jaden Crace engineered a dynamic fourth-quarter drive that included a 5-yard touchdown run with just 23 seconds left to force overtime. Both those teams scored touchdowns in overtime. But it was the Knights who went second. They decided to go for 2 and swarmed with pressure. They were left on the wrong end of another heartbreak. Something to note coming in tonight, the freshman quarterback in Jaden Crace is out. Yes, that is correct, folks. He is out today. So coming in his stead will be the other freshman out of Mount Spokane, Washington, and Riker Tweedy. He's had some playing time this year, 10 for 25 on this season, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He will be taking the job under center or behind center as this team runs a lot of shotgun today. You heard all about the offense for Shasta. Now on the defensive side, here are some players to look out for. Former 2-star safety freshman Shanjay Finister anchors the secondary, leading the team with 26 total tackles. In the heart of the defense, we have freshman Ivan Morales, who brings versatility with 22 tackles, 2.5 tackles for loss, and a forced fumble as own guard. And on top of that, in the front line, 2 redshirt sophomores, and Isaac Finn and Keon Jackson. They've combined for 6 sacks, and they've been consistently sending pressure into the backfield. On the other side of the ball, the DVC Vikings come in with a spotless 4-0 record. They're looking to complete their first undefeated non-conference schedule in nearly 14 years. This dates back to 2011. That's the last time they were able to go 5-0 to start the year. A very successful year. At the end of it, only losing about 2 games, I believe, that season. The Vikings coming off an absolutely dominating victory against the top 20 ranked Sacramento City College Panthers. That was 48-17. They showcased their top 5 offense with 526 total yards in that matchup. No, I did not misspeak. They had 526 total yards. Everyone was eating. 10 receivers caught passes off the arm of Kalani McLeod and Jaden Macedo, and all 3 running backs with a rushing attempt ended up scoring a touchdown. Freshman quarterback Kalani McLeod, he has been virtually unstoppable to start the season with 1,070 yards, 14 touchdowns to 1 interception. He's been dicing up defenses with a surgical 78% completion percentage, which makes him the most efficient passer in the 3C2A. And what was once a bell cow-led backfield by Sophomore running back Ferrari Miller, who's been averaging just a touch under 100 yards per game, has turned into a three-headed monster. Two freshman sensation running backs in Elijah Bowe and Martise Ferguson have made their presence known with rushes of 70-plus yards last week on explosive home run touchdown plays. Wide receiving Kai Taylor has been the go-to guy on the outside. He's got 21 catches for 364 yards and 5 touchdowns. The National Division leader in touchdowns leads this deepest receiving room in the association. And the Vikings defense was incredible last week as well. They did not give up a single first down the entirety of the first half. Not one first down. It took until the second drive of the second half for them to be able to pick up one first down. Spearheaded by two sophomore linebackers in Wesley Gardner and Santino Acevedo, both tallying up a total of 24 total tackles apiece, as well as, funny enough, two 23-yard interceptions as well, both of them with an interception, both of them being 23-yard returns on top of all that. The ultra-talented defensive back end is led by redshirt sophomore safety Journey McCoy, who's in his second year here with the squad after redshirting over at the University of Nevada. He is second on the team in tackles, and he has an interception of his own as well. On the front line, the sophomore defensive end, Caden McIver, has been living in the backfield. Last week, he accounted for 3 tackles for loss as well as a sack. About 4 minutes till the national anthem, and just about ready for kickoff. Friday Night Lights here from Viking Stadium. The swords are drawn. It's the Knights. It's the Vikings. And it's almost time for war here on DVC Vikings Live. Live here from the field as we get ready for our kickoff here. DVC won, they deferred, so Shasta will receive the ball to get this one started. DVC having two kickoffs personnel here. Daniel Sokol has come in last week as the individual to lead the kickoffs, but it looks like Adrian Guzman will get us started off, a kickoff specialist, and then the traditional kicker starting off right now for the Vikings. They'll be kicking it right to left in their green helmets, green tops with the white bottoms and the white numerals as well as the green trim. On the other side of the ball, we have the Shasta Knights in their white helmets with the white jerseys, the green bottoms and the green numerals. The two deep men to return it look to be Aiden McFall as well as Chance Tager. DVC will be kicking it right to left. Shasta will be returning it left to right. The kick is off. Underway here from Viking Stadium. Fielded down at the 2-yard line. Taken up between the hash marks. Trying to turn it up. A stutter step and a hard tackle made down to the 19-yard line. Tackle made by Miles Dixon after the return and possibly a fumble on the play. DVC wants it, but it looks like the officials are going to keep this one with Shasta. Shasta will retain the possession, and we will get a look at the quarterback today, Ryder Tweedy. What a name, out of Meade, Washington, the Mount Spokane two-sport athlete, the former right-handed pitcher. Will get the start today, 6'3", 180-pound freshman. Has had some action so far this year, 10 for 25 of the year, 188 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And he'll line out of the pistol to get this one started. A little bit of miscommunication as it's a late substitution of 2 different players now for Shasta. Play clock down to 6 to start. The lineup at a 2-back pistol. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, get the snap off, and they hand it off over the left-hand side, smothered immediately on the carry. Siobhan Gramps-Green was the man to carry the ball, and the tackle made by Star Taimani. Great way to start the early evening here for the Vikings. The Vikings defense has been good, but it's been the rushing game that they've been continually having to get better on. So a nice tackle right at the line of scrimmage to start is exactly what the doctor called for. Right between the hash marks, working left to right. 3 receivers bunched up towards that near side of the line. 4-man front for the Vikings with the 2-high shell. They'll hand it off once again, looking for a cutback lane, able to squeeze through the first line and tackled down in the second row. Marley Alapati was the man to meet him on the spot after Trevon Crane was the one to carry it. A few different running backs being in use. Trevon Crane is the lead back with 47 rushing attempts. Going into this game, Andrew Brown with 34 attempts, only had 1 carry last week against Ridley, however. And after a successful run of about 5 yards, it's 3rd down and 5. 3rd down and 4, pardon me, from the 26-yard line. Tweed, a couple handoffs. Maybe our first look at a pass from the freshman. Crane behind him. Pistol look with that tight bunch once again. 3-step drop, flag comes in, quick out. It's caught by the running back as he was blown up immediately upon the reception. Crane made the reception, and it's Ananias Walker laying the lumber. He did, however, get about 5 yards, so that will be enough for a first down. So if this penalty is against Shasta, it'll send them back and we play the down, but let's see. Maybe it's going to be an offsides on the Vikings. Officials still talking about it. And the chains have not moved. Long discussion here. It looks like it should be against Shasta, as Coach Collins was the one with the official along the sideline.
Offside. Defense. 5-yard penalty.
And no, it is on the defense. Offsides. After pitching a shutout in the first half, not allowing a single first down on the opening drive for Shasta, it's a penalty on the Vikings that gets them started. The Vikings averaging 8 penalties per game. That is 18th in the 3C2A in that category, so a pretty disciplined team. And an uncharacteristic start here. Tidying off that left side of the line, and they'll continue to operate out of that pistol set. Handoff, bouncing to the outside, breaks one tackle, tries to go with the hurdle. Thrown down right on the back of his head was Diego Rocio. Richard Siaki at the very end of the play came down to throw him down. Just a nice cut to the outside and then just a hard hit. 2nd down and 4. Ryder Tweedy can work out of a 2-back pistol. The Shasta offense likes to spread things out, likes to line up in the pistol. We've got a tie off the left side in Jacob Rosensteel, former quarterback transfer out of a Division I school in Eastern Illinois. But the handoff continues. Carry by Siobhan Gramps Green, eventually brought down. Or pardon me, it was Marley Alipati, number 22, to get the tackle off the run from Diego Rocio. A shift in the running back. A lot of different formations coming in right now for Shasta. Byron Hamilton is the head coach and defensive coordinator in his 6th year here. He is up in the booth for the first time as he's dealing with some back issues. Happy to see Coach able to make the trip down south up from Reading. And it's 3rd down and 4 now. 11:20 remaining. 5-step drop. Pressure comes falling to the ground. And that is a sack for Caden McIver. Screaming off the edge. McIver just falling right on top of the running back. And that is a great way to start, but a flag down on the field here on 3rd down. The ball continues to move back. And it looks like Coach Collins might want the yardage instead of the down. Nope. Illegal formation on the offense. This ball was spot right at the spot of the sack. And the Vikings defense, after giving up 1 first down, will send out the punt return team. Elijah Bowe coming out. Only 1 punt return on the year for no yardage. He had some opportunities previous to that where he had let the ball bounce out of bounds. We saw the pressure of the Vikings front here force some shorter punts where Jake Calcagno was able to fair catch it as the 2nd deepest man. And this time, Diego Rocio, a low, winding punt fielded by Bo. Bo going right between the hash marks here as the flag comes in. Bo with some space along the 4 hash mark. Bo out to the 35-yard line. He'll be spotted down a couple yards shy of that. Spotting him down to the 34. A flag right there down on the 50. Based on the spot of the flag, that one might be a hold. Ball is still spotted here, but it looks like they'll march it back. This is a team that is not penalized very much. But early on here in this one, just seeing a few plays getting away from the Vikings here. It is a holding call against the kicking team. So that is something that you typically do not see. So the Vikings get a fortuitous play there. Instead of holding on the receiving team, it's on the kicking team. They'll go forward for another 10 yards. So the Vikings with an extremely short field after the penalty there. So the Vikings offense, man, a golden start from the 29-yard line. And let's take a look at this offense. And the first quarterback out will be Kalani McLeod. McLeod having such a strong start to the year. Coach Collins was talking about his ability to stand tall in that pocket and just deliver strikes time and time again. Second in the MCFC in yards per game, leads the state in completion percentage, and leads the NCFC in touchdowns as well. First look at this Vikings offense, and of course, it is Ferrari Miller alongside him. He'll be lined up in the pistol. Tighten off the left side of the line is Amani Elfadil. And another stoppage in play is, seems like everybody's just a little trying to get everything dotted your I's and crossing your T's. First Friday night game, typically a staple here from DVC, but we started with a couple Saturdays. So maybe they're just readjusting to the slightly shorter week here. Lone football game here in the 3C2A on this Friday evening.
There's a correction on the last penalty.
And the penalty was wrong.
Holding return team, number 13.
So this is what we expected. It is on the return team.
First down, Diablo Valley.
Martise Ferguson was the one called for the hold, so the Vikings offense will get a start from midfield, not from the 30. So that is a big difference in the situation here. So the Vikings with half a field to work with as we get a look at McLeod alongside Ferrari Miller. 20 yards difference, and we get this one started. First down and 10, working right to left. Potential blitz coming out the left side of the line, and they do send the blitz. Ferrari Miller right up the middle, and he has a lane out to the 35-yard line. Springing free for 17 yards. Ferrari Miller with an explosive start. Macklin Martin ended up saving the day with the tackle. Miller's helmet came off at the end of the play, so he'll have to come off. But the Vikings right near that spot where they line up initially. Martise Ferguson will be the back in the backfield alongside McLeod now. Tighten off the left side from the right hash. McLeod. Time to throw. Stepping up in the pocket. Pressure comes in late, and he's swallowed up. 5 yards dropped on the play, and it's Malachi Tupai with the second sack of the season. Ferrari Miller will check back in here on second down and 14. And we saw the running ability of Kalani McLeod on display last week. We saw him keep it a few times on a read option. Hadn't really seen too much of that up to that point in the season, but this time isn't able to get away from the defensive line. Another handoff goes to Ferrari. Ferrari with some space along the left side of the line, lowering his shoulder out to the 30-yard line. Able to pick up about half the yardage back as he's tackled down. After a gain of 7 down to the 30, Ryder May filled the hole at the last moment. Third down. Vikings, one of the top teams in the 3C2A in third down percentages. In fact, they are number 1, converting 59% of their third downs this year. In this situation, you gotta believe they might run a play to set up 4-down territory, however. From the 30, the counter handoff. Ferrari makes a man miss, diving down to the 26-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, eventually tackled by Malachi Tupai, and this is 4-down territory as we expected. And one of our early coaches' calls this year, Coach Collins was talking about, hey, if we don't get the third down, we're just setting up 4th down. That's just how we roll. From the near hash, 4th and 3. Checking towards the sideline, looking for the call here. 20 seconds left on the play clock. Plenty of time for McLeod. McLeod to pass. McLeod outside, broken up, and that's a turnover and downs. He was looking for Kai Taylor, but great eyes there by Joe McGuan. The redshirt freshman from Reading comes up with the play, and the Vikings are sent away on their very first drive. Couple explosive plays result to nothing as Shasta will get the ball from the 26-yard line. Shasta College on 4th down and 3, the Vikings trusting in the arm of McLeod. But a rare misplay as Shasta comes out for their second drive here with 8:26 remaining on the clock. Ryder Tweedy One passing attempt on that penalty play to start. It's been all the running game there as Trevin Crane shuffling his way to the left side down to the 29-yard line before it's Wesley Garton dragging to the turf.
Second and 7. Let's go, defense!
15 seconds remaining on the play clock here. 7:45 counting down. Second down and 7 from the 29-yard line after the first rush. Ryder Tweedy. Another give over the left side. Some space initially. Crane had a little bit of space, but as Marley Alapati showing off that bicep day, man, he just yanked him down on the clothesline. You know, they say you don't want to arm tackle, but if the Pythons are flexing like that, you might feel okay with it. It does set up third down and 3 from the 33-yard line. 7:09 counting down here, working left to right. Tweedy not necessarily in a passing situation here. Continuing to work out of the pistol set. 3-step drop, looking towards the fast speed out, and throws it behind his intended receiver, and DeAndre Irving. Aaron Woodard came up to make the play. And in this situation, you got to believe the punt team will come out, and that's exactly what happens. You know, those quick outs are a pretty incredibly difficult thing to cover, but you have to put it right on the money as they make the break to the far sideline of that short side of the field. But in that situation, they're behind the intended receiver, and Riker Tweedy showing a little bit of inaccuracy to start. Bo will come out for his second punt return. He'll come out a little bit short here as the running back as well as punter in Diego Rocio puts this one down. A end-over-end kick, rugby style, taking a bounce inside of the 20. It'll drop down to the 19-yard line. Nice little low line drive punt there as it's a 48-yard punt at the end of the day. Good job there for the 5'9", 180 sophomore from Shasta Lake. Not traditional by any means, but hey, got the job done. Pinning the Vikings inside of the 20. That's all you can ever ask for on a punt. So with that, the Vikings come out for their second drive after turning it over on downs to start. A flag is by the feet of one of the coaches.
First warning of the contest.
And it is a sideline warning called on the Vikings. So if they get one more of those, it'll be a actual penalty. A little bit of a herky-jerky start on both sides for the Vikings and the Knights here. Coach Collins in the end of the last game, despite being up quite a bit, and the game already being, the window essentially being closed already, took some time to yell at his team. It's not about the score, it's not about the situation, it's about the execution. And that's exactly what Coach Collins demands here, and his second team leading this Viking squad. And from the far hash mark, it'll be McLeod coming out once more. Expect to see a two-quarterback system at one point. Kalani McLeod, another handoff over to Miller. Ferrari Miller with a shuffle right at the 25-yard line. And Miller with a rush of 8 to start, eventually tackled down by the outside linebacker in Giancarlo Desolini. There you go. Third time's the charm. And on second down and 2, Vikings possibly looking to take a shot here out of the pistol. McLeod between the hashes. Looking for the linebacker, sending a blitz. Reverse handoff over Ferrari, and Ferrari makes the man miss after the 40-yard line. Sprinting down the sideline, look for a block after the 40-yard line before he's hawked down. Ryder May came up to make the play at the end of the day. But a nice little fancy footwork and the handoff from McLeod over to Miller. And Miller having a light day. The last few outings as the Vikings went up huge. He's having a heck of a start to this one. Ball spotted down at the 38-yard line. That's first down and 10 here. The tight end shifting up as an up back off that right side of the line now, as the Vikings work in an offset shotgun. 4 seconds left. Shifting Miller into the pistol now. Handoff, Miller once again. And Miller with some patience in the backfield, able to pick up a gain of 3 on the play before he's eventually brought down by Giancarlo Desolini. And it'll be second down and 8 now. Ferrari with some nice plays to start this one, as he already has upwards of 36 yards to start. Clock winding down already, 4:50 counting down. Despite all the penalties, this has been a very fast first quarter. Ten seconds left. Making communication, some checks to his wide receivers here. McLeod, pump fakes, looks right, pressure comes, trying to get out of an arm tackle, throws it in front, a one-handed grab from Miller, and Miller has some space out to the 30-yard line. Top of the numbers eventually wrangled down after a catch of 7. Sean J. Finister made the tackle on the complete improvised play. McLeod was dead to his right, had the hand of a defensive lineman all over his shoulder blade, was able to somehow find Miller, and Miller doing the rest. Man, he has been so good in the receiving game this year. Not much of a threat in that receiving game last year, more a power and explosive runner, but the development on Ferrari Miller has been on display. He's got D1 talent written all over him in that green 10. And after the explosive play, it makes a third down and short, 3rd and 2 from the near hash. Operating out of the pistol. McLeod will give it over to Miller, and Miller collects the first down. A gain of 4 on the play for Ferrari. Sanjay Finister with his second straight tackle, and the Vikings get a first down and 10 here, 3:25 counting down. This drive has been all Ferrari Miller, man. One might say it's Miller time. Living the high life. You know, I did all the Ferrari car jokes last year. We'll work on the Miller side this time. Tidying off the left side. Right here for the near hash mark. 3-step drop. McLeod pump fakes. McLeod going for it all. And McLeod finds his man back in the end zone. Stared in for the touchdown. Jurion Dickey comes back and shows his speed on display. The Oregon bounce back, delivering another home run ball. Just a head fake, a wiggle, and Dickey does it all. Didn't see Jurion at all last week. I do not believe he played, but on his very first reception, it goes for 6. And now Guzman knocks through the PAT, crosses the T on the PAT, and the Vikings get the first score here with 2:52 remaining in the first quarter of play. A great start on a drive that was dominated by Miller, capped off by that pass from Kalani McLeod to Jurion Dickey. Quick timeout here. We'll be back on the other side here on DVC Vikings Live. "26-yard reception from Kalani McLeod to Jurion Dickey as the Vikings capitalize on the drive that took them all the way from the 19-yard line into the opposing end zone. Vikings with the 7-0 lead here with 2:52 remaining here in the first quarter of play. And despite the penalties, this one has been flying by. Adrian Guzman looking to boot this one away for the second time. High end-over-end kick fielded down right at the goal line, and this one be taken out. A bad decision here as the return man in DeAndre Irving tackled down inside of the 20. Garrett Isumunu Isomono able to make the tackle. Isomanu made a nice play last week on the offensive side of the ball. As he had a rush for a 30-yard gain as well as a touchdown catch. Shows off what he can do on special teams as well. It's all three phases. Quick pass. Flings it out to the near sideline for Crane, and Crane able to only get a gain of 3 on the play. Ananias Walker read that one well. Alongside Wesley Garden. So just trying to get Riker Tweedy, pardon me, a little comfortable in this system. He's only had a couple passing attempts up to this point. Officially his second, as the first passing attempt of the afternoon ended up being a flag that they took the flag instead. Pistol spread now for Tweedy. Tweedy a 3-step drop. Tweedy shuffling. Tweedy taken down to the 10-yard line. Vikings with their second sack. Richard Siaki came through the middle. His helmet fell off on the play as he was celebrating, and a flag is down. This one may be a 15-yard penalty on the Vikings. Jawan Dickey checks in, number 61 in the middle now. Brother of Jurion Dickey. And it's an unsportsmanlike on Richard Siaki. That'll be a 15-yard penalty, and that's his first. Jawan Dickey came in late in that last matchup. Ended up getting a tackle at the very end of the game in that win against Sacramento City College. Played his freshman year over at Foothill College, where he had 17 total tackles and 2.5 sacks before going up to Oregon, where he redshirted. And now he is here, back at the JC circuit for the Vikings here. Sprinting down the field, talking to the official, is the head coach for the Vikings in Jimmy Collins. A fumble here, and the Vikings nearly fall on top of it. It is still on the ground. Both parties fighting for it. And the ball will stick with White. Recovered by the man who fumbled it initially, and Trevin Crane. That was a hectic sequence there. It looked like the Vikings had a chance to get the ball on the dirt after a messed up handoff. And then that one just wasn't able to squeeze the greasy ball there in that situation. And we'll have a timeout on the field. We'll take it as well here on DVC Vikings Live. Back here on the field after the fumble brings Shasta back to the 23-yard line. It's 2nd down and 14 as the Vikings lead 7-0 here with 1:25 remaining here in the opening frame. Diego Rocio, we've seen him a lot as a punter. Now we're getting another look at him at running back. 7-step drop, looking to set up the screen pass. The Vikings were all over that play. Every single Viking read it perfectly, and another flag down. The pressure was by Star Taimani. And a second unsportsmanlike call on the Vikings. This is the second play on this drive that the Vikings have given up a first down via unsportsmanlike. These officials have their, I don't know how to say it nicely, so I'm not going to say it at all, but they are a little tight tonight. This will move the chains. Shasta has been getting gifted some extracurricular first downs. Working out of the 12 personnel for the first time, we're getting a look at Chuka Savini as the second tight end alongside Jacob Rosensteel on that right side. And the Whitecap stop and play momentarily. We'll resume. 10 seconds left on the play clock here. Tweedy out of the pistol and 12 personnel. Handoff goes to the back, spins in the backfield, stays on his feet. 2 Vikings, 3 and 4 and 5 come to the pile to make the tackle after a gain of 4 on the carry from Diego Rocio. Acevedo was the first man to get there, and then it just seemed like a gang of Viking tacklers came through. Richard Siaki, all 5'8", 280 pounds of him, comes back in at defensive tackle. Siaki with a very strong start to the night. 2 sacks already for the freshman out of El Cerrito. 2nd down and 5 from the 43. Potentially one more play here in the opening quarter. Another handoff. This one read extremely well. Santino Acevedo read the hole, or filled the hole, I should say, and Richard Siaki came up to make the tackle. That'll bring up 3rd down and 4 from the 45-yard line. And with that, it'll bring up the end of the first quarter of play. 7-0 Vikings lead after the first 15 minutes of play here from Vikings Stadium. And we'll take the time and alongside with them here on DVC Vikings Live. Trevin Crane back in the backfield alongside Tweedy now as we start our second quarter play. 15 minutes on the clock, right between the hash marks from the 44-yard line. It's a 3rd down and 4 for the Knights. Living out of the pistol. Riker Tweedy sends his tight end in motion. That's the second tight end, Chuka Savini. Trying to pass it. Pressure comes, throws to the near sideline, finds his tight end, enough for the first down. Pickup of 7 on the play. Jeff Holden made the tackle at the end of the play. Just a good job buying time there by Riker Tweedy. Find that soft spot in the zone in Chuka Savini. Picks up the first down. Shasta in the Viking side of the field for the first time today from the 49-yard line. Just getting confidence for Tweedy. That's exactly what you got to do when you got a freshman quarterback back there. Tight bunch that far hand side for the near hash mark. Another handoff out of the pistol. Slips in the backfield, and he's taken down right at the line of scrimmage. Trevin Crane, and a flag down on the far sideline. Crane 6 rushes for 4 yards. And a full start will make that 5 rushes for 4 yards. So save you the stat line there. Doesn't save you the hit. That's the one thing that's so difficult about the running back position. You know, when You're a wide receiver on the outside. If you don't make a catch for the first few quarters, you don't necessarily take any hits. Yeah, you're making some contact as you're blocking, but as a running back, it doesn't matter what the situation is. You're taking damage.
5-yard penalty. Previous spot. Pregame. Third down.
So a miscommunication here from the official. He said remains third down, but they already moved the first down, so it'll be first down and 15 as they move back to their own side of the field. The ball will be spotted down at the 46-yard line. So it is not third down despite what the white cap says. It is first and 15 from the 46. DVC taking one timeout up to this point already. Vikings lining up in the pistol, or pardon me, Shasta lining up in the pistol spread with Tweedy. Passing down situation here. 3-step drop off his back foot, throws it to the near hand side 48-yard line as a flag comes down, spun down after only a gain of 3 on the play. Jeff Holden alongside Wesley Garden made the tackle on DeAndre Irving. And let's see what this flag is on. Both teams just having issues left and right here to start. I know it's Friday, and apparently it's laundry day as well. Legal formation will move Shasta back an additional 5 yards. So the Vikings gifting 30 yards on that last drive on 2 personal fouls, and now the Knights are returning the favor. They will decline the penalty, however. The Vikings valuing the down on 3 yards. So it's second down and 12 from the 49-yard lines of the Knights. The tight end is the slot receiver on the right-hand side from the near hash mark. Tweedy out of the pistol. Tweedy looking towards the far sideline, throws it. Trying to get right there in that hole shot, but the Vikings defenders did such a good job covering it up. Chance Tager was the intended receiver on the play, and that outside filled by Aaron Woodard and Journey McCoy right there, forcing a third down. That is just a tough ask against the cover 2, trying to hit that turkey hole on the far sideline for a young quarterback. Getting the start today, replacing Jaden Crace, who was injured late last week in that overtime loss to Reedley. 3rd and 12, 7-step drop, delivering, and it's tipped, nearly intercepted. Aaron Woodard had a read on that ball from the get-go, but the Vikings unable to get the interception. However, it is 4th down and 12, and it'll force a punt. Just a great read there. Perfect diagnosis of the play from Aaron Woodard. Punter comes back out, and the running back Diego Rocio had a 40-plus yarder last time. This one a low winding punt. This one went off the Vikings. If this one touched a Vikings player, it'll be Shasta ball at the 11-yard line. It looks like it did not. It looks like it might have gone off of a Shasta player, so the Vikings fortuitous bounce in that situation as the ball is spotted down to the 12-yard line, and the Vikings offense will get the start there. 39 yards on the play. I really thought that went off the rear end of a Vikings player. Doesn't help that the coaching staff for Shasta to right here yelling, "That's our ball!" And the Ferrari Miller show on display once more as he lines up alongside Kalani McLeod in the shotgun. 3 receivers set to the near-hand side of the field, right between the hashes, spotted down right here on the 12-yard line on 1st down. Quick pass. It's a screen to the near-hand side, towards the sideline. A catch made by Miles Dixon, as Dixon is able to pick up a gain of 5. Macklin Martin wraps him up at the end of the play. Dixon came off and started the season off really hot against Fresno as he was the leading receiver. But since then, it's been a few different receivers getting the action going. They try to target Miles Dixon on the second play, and it brings up 3rd down and 4. That one just thrown a little too far behind it. You know, when Kalani McLeod is throwing some incompletions, you got to feel like the vibe is off. This guy is money 78%, but already about 3 incompletions on the day. Sprint left is McLeod. McLeod delivering past the sticks, juggled and caught. And up for the 1st down. Catch was made by Garrett Isamunu. And Garrett Isamanu able to pick up the 1st down. Garrett Isamanu, got to get his name right. He's been delivering big-time plays for the Vikings the last couple of games. And McLeod operating out of the pistol now from the far hash. Ball spotted down the 26-yard line. They'll go back to the ground game. Ferrari just falling forward with the pile, able to get a carry of 3 on the play. Eventually, it's Tylon Leon Guerrero able to stop him. Jake Calcagno checking back in alongside Jurian Dickey. The speed package onto the field. Three receivers to the near-hand side for McLeod. Out of the shotgun. Showing blitz, they don't send the pressure. Instead, it's a pass over to Dixon. Dixon stumbles as he catches the ball, avoids the defender out to the 40-yard line, and makes his way to the 43. A gain of 15 on the reception for Miles Dixon before Macklin Martin makes the tackle, and the Vikings get another 1st down. Miles Dixon on display this drive. Dixon, the sophomore out of Bishop O'Dowd, the 3rd leading receiver on the team from a year ago. Former 2-star wide receiver, showing his worth in this one early. 11:05 remaining. Shotgun snap, counter to the right-hand side. Ferrari Miller avoids one defender. And a late flag here. Likely going to be a holding on the Vikings after it's only a gain of 2 on the play. The tackle was eventually made by Sam Wah. But a 10-yard penalty will definitely be taken in this situation.
Offense, number 54, 10-yard penalty.
Holding called against the tackle. Zaire Young, the freshman out of Sacred Heart Cathedral, sends the Vikings back. And yes, that's not necessarily the best situation you want to be in, but with how explosive this Vikings offense has been, you almost feel like downs value more than yards in this situation. So the Vikings, despite it being a 1st down and 20, they have been oh so explosive. It's McLeod and Miller in the backfield. The motion, Dixon across the formation. No lineup on the left-hand side. 3 receivers split to that way. Screen pass over to Miller. And Ferrari made the catch. In that situation, you almost want to just knock that one down to the ground. Miller will lose 3 on the play. And it's Tylon Leon Guerrero making the read perfectly. Screen passes have been tough to come by today. About 4 screens already called on both sides of the ball. And only one of them was successful for about a gain of 6. New running back into the backfield. Martise Ferguson, the freshman out of San Leandro. The shimmering tape of his back pad shining under these Friday night lights. 2nd and 22. McLeod stands in the pocket, delivers over the middle. It's Dixon once more. Dixon catches it at the 45-yard line, taken down at the 49-yard line. And it's 3rd down and just about 6. Great chunk of yardage there by Miles Dixon as he makes it 3rd and manageable. An 18-yard gain on the reception here. And they'll line up quickly. Vikings working with some tempo. Chest high snap, flag comes in. Likely going to be a false start. The deep ball down the field. Kai Taylor comes back, makes the catch alongside his left pocket. He's brought down at the 1 yard line, but the home run ball likely going to come back here. Kai Taylor has the ball spotted down to the 3 yard line on the long ball, and instead it's an offsides on the defense, so the Vikings take the shot, and it delivers. Kai Taylor showing up the explosiveness, the ability to track that ball, pin it alongside his right hip, and the Vikings are sitting up first down and goal from the 3. 48 yards with the pitch and catch. The high arcing rainbow goes to Kai Taylor. Vikings spreading it out here on the goal line. Shotgun spread. Miller's back in the backfield. Matt Gooden motions. He'll be the up back, the lead blocker. McLeod keeps it, and McLeod struts in right down Main Street. The quarterback read, the quarterback keeper, and the quarterback rushing touchdown. Second rushing touchdown of the year from the freshman from Vanden, and the Vikings are up 13-0 with 9:01 remaining here in the second. Adrian Guzman lines it up. High snap put down. Guzman hesitates, but he's still able to convert. The fastball off the long snap, but the Vikings still managing to get the score. Fusick showing off those hands for the quarterback. And the Vikings drive that started down to the 14 yard line makes their way all the way in for the touchdown. An 86 yard drive capped off with 7. Vikings have had to drive the entirety of the field both times they've got their scores today, and they're showing it on display. The first drive was 6 plays, 81 yards, taking 3 minutes and 54 seconds. And as the calculations happen here, we'll give you the drive in just a moment after it was capped off by the 3 yard rushing touchdown by Kalani McLeod on the read option. Vikings boot this one away. This is a high end-over-end kick that'll bounce down and take a dead drop bounce there. Picked up by an up back, able to surf through the defense, eventually yanked down at the 20 yard line. It was the up back in Diego Rosillo. Man, he is everywhere on special teams. This time he picks it up and able to make a positive play out of a very difficult kick. Journey McCoy eventually making the tackle. That is an NFL type of kick in that situation with the new rules in the NFL. If you got a dead drop ball like that, you got the potential to possibly have your man pick that one up. But in college football, a little bit more weary. So it'll be first down and 10 here with 8:53 counting down. Ball spotted down on the 21 yard line of the Knights, and they'll stick to the ground game. Met right at the line of scrimmage, able to carry the ball forward for a gain of 3. The tackle was made by Langston Cook, trying to get a number on the man to carry it. Wyatt Simone was the running back in the play. He is the bigger back of the group. 6 foot 230 redshirt freshman out of Eureka, California. He is the power back. Had a couple rushes last week for 5 yards. Able to get it already. And all of that weight pushing the scrum forward. They'll give him forward progress all the way to the line to gain, and that will be a first down. Wyatt Simone carrying power, carrying the pile. Io Phillips eventually brings him down. It'll be first down and 10 here after a couple rushes from the redshirt freshman out of St. Bernard. Two-sport athlete. And catch this, 23-time player of the game on Max Preps back in high school. He's an explosive athlete and getting his opportunity to shine on this drive. Former two-time Cal High Star of the Week. They'll just go straight downhill, powering his way forward as Simone able to pick up a gain of 5. Langston Cook right there to make the play from his defensive end position, and I think they found something with Simone. It is just straight downhill, and it almost looks like rugby. Just straight down the gut. Clock inside of 7 minutes to play here. Second down and 5. The score 14-0 as the Vikings lead. But Shasta having some success on this drive. Riker Tweedy facilitating the action. 12 personnel. And it is just power running off that right side. Like a cannonball shot out. 230 pounds springing forward for a gain of 3. Just inside zone out of that 12 personnel, and Simone with another first down. Nothing fancy, but you see the size on display by this offensive line of Shasta, as well as bigger body back in Simone. 6'5", 6'2", 6'5", 6'3", 6'5". All well above 280 pounds all across the line for the Shasta Knights unit. Living out of this big personnel now. 12 personnel, 2 tight ends, 1 running back. The cutback, the lane over for Simone, and Simone able to get a gain of 9 this time. Santino Acevedo bring him down. The Vikings are in some trouble right now. It is all 19 right now. And the Knights are not afraid to continue to go to the well. Inside zone, outside zone, heavy personnel. This is the Shasta Knights team that is playing some bully ball. Tight ends off the left and right side. And as the play clock dribbles down, Shasta forced to take their timeout here with 5:08 remaining. Timeout on the field, timeout here as well here on DVC Vikings Live. And it's second down and 1 after the timeout. And it'll be a passing in the situation. Taking the deep shot down the far sideline. Trying to trace that one down from the middle of the field was Journey McCoy, as that ball was just thrown into no man's land. And on second down and short, you take the shot, and your running back has been paying his dividends up front. Third and 1. Expecting to go back to the zone. Simone has been averaging 7+ yards a carry right now. And a false start will send him back. This one looks like it'll be on the left tackle, and AJ Sophia. .502 counting down here. We'll see if they'll back him up 5. 5-yard penalty will make it 3rd down and 6. And now a lot different of a situation. Originally, you'd think it'd be inside zone, just powering up the gut for Wyatt Simone, but now a little bit different of a situation. You could possibly try to run it twice with Simone, but everybody else probably thinks this is more of a passing down situation. 5:02 counting down, back on their own side of the field from the 48-yard line. And it's Riker Tweedy with Simone. These line up the pistol. Chance Tager will line up as the up back off the right side. 5-step drop, wings it across the middle of the field, and it's caught. Enough yardage for the first down. Chance Tager, motion, found the spot in the defense, and picks up 9 yards for the first down. Aaron Woodard came there to lay the hit. And Shasta has found something now. This drive has been their most successful of the game. 7 first downs. 4 of them, I believe, have come on this drive. And the clock continues to grind down as well. 4:25 ticking down between the hash marks. 12 personnel pistol, 2 tight ends, 1 running back. Handoff up the back. And only again a 2 this time. Great job from the outside coverage of the Vikings. Able to swarm right to the spot. Cannon McIver able to meet him in the backfield, and just all that momentum at 230 brought him down for a gain of 2. All spotted down at the 40-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 8. $20 seconds on the play clock. 3:40 on the big one. Too high look. Vikings sending a mug look with their backers. Pass. Looks left side. Rolls out the right side. His hand was hit as that ball came out. It goes out of bounds. Heavy pressure from the Vikings, and they get home again. Marley Alapati screaming up the middle with the blitz.
There's no foul for intentional grounding.
There's no foul for intentional grounding on the play. Just the pressure of the Vikings, sending them all the way back. I do not understand where the intended receiver in that situation is. But it is 3rd down and 8 now. This has been a drive all built off zone rushes from Wyatt Simone. And he will come out here on 3rd down. Diego Rocio will come down as the 3rd down back. Between the hash marks, it's Riker Tweedy. Low snap handled well. 7-step drop. Tweedy throws, and it's too far behind his intended receiver. It looked like he wanted Chance Tager to run an outbreaking route, but he cut inside, and it's 4th down now. Offense staying on the field as the ball is spotted down at the 40. They'll roll the dice. Vikings turn the ball over on downs in their opening drive in a similar situation. It was 4th down and 3 for the Vikings in this general vicinity of the field. But late after some thought, Shasta is going to send out the punt team. Doesn't hurt if Diego Rocio's already on the field as the 3rd down back. He'll go back to be the punter. Jake Calcagno will get his opportunity as the punt returner here. 7 punt returns already on the year. Not much of an opportunity here. Fair catch made. And let's see if a flag comes down for impeding in the halo space, and it eventually will. No official wanted to call it, and eventually the sideline judge threw the flag. Fair catch interference on the Knights, and the Vikings will dig themselves out from the 5-yard line. kick catch interference, I believe, is the official term. Just getting you catch up on some work from before that I was talking about. 9 plays, 68 yards, taking 4 minutes and 15 seconds off the clock. That was the eventual last drive of the Vikings. The official's going to talk about this one. And the white cap waves it off. I can understand all the frustration in the world from the side of Coach Collins and the DVC side. It feels like the hometown team is not getting a hometown favor. At the end of the day, all you ask for is even play. Regardless, you keep it moving, keep it chugging, and the Vikings will line up from the 5-yard line to start the drive. No foul on the play, and the Vikings with 3:17 have an opportunity to drive all the way down the field again. They'll start off with the handoff over to Ferrari. Miller with some space alongside the 4 hash mark, and Ferrari with a big chunk of 10 on the play. Eventually, not Jeff Holden. That is number 5 on the other side in Giancarlo Desalini. And Vikings working with some tempo now. Ferrari Miller with some space along the far side. And on the top of the numbers, backs his way down for another gain of 9. N.J. Jackson, the sophomore out of Las Vegas, Nevada, a Centennial product, one of those powerhouse schools in Nevada. Able to stop him at the end of the play. I think the Vikings saw what Wyatt Salini was doing on the other side and says, hey, we got Ferrari Miller. We're good to go. Pistol look. Play action fake. Stepping up. Fires as he's hit. Has a man downfield. Diving. Couldn't make the catch. Matt Gooden had 2 steps over the top of the double coverage, and Gooden just could not collect. Taking the shot on 2nd down and short. And the Vikings now face a 3rd down and 1 here. The play clock stops. 2:21. Likely going to be the last play before the 2-minute timeout. Facing a 4-man front with the 2 high shell. Miller the back. Give it off to Ferrari. And Ferrari made a man miss initially, but the pressure from that front line of Shasta able to drop him back. So the clock will tick down. Kano Jackson, the other sophomore out of Las Vegas, able to make the play, and it's 4th down. Vikings going to make a decision here as we go to the 2-minute timeout. 2-minute timeout. We'll come back on the other side here on DVC Vikings Live. The Vikings offense here in 4th down will come out. Let's see if it's going to be a hard count. It's 4th down and 2 after being dropped for a loss of 1. Kalani McLeod operating out of the pistol. Facing the nickel front. And they will snap it. They'll give it over to Miller. Miller with space on the left side. Gets past the defender and gets the first down. The Vikings inside of 2 minutes roll the dice on 4th down and 2, and they pick it up on a rush of 5. Joe McGowan able to make the tackle at the end of the play, but the Vikings come out. Everyone is thinking they go hard count. Instead, they go for it from deep inside their own side of the field. And the play clock stops as the ball goes out of bounds inside of 2 minutes. Reverse handoff. Miller somehow continues to work through multiple tacklers and all that extra effort, unable to get much extra yards on the play. Cano Jackson swung him down, and it's 2nd down and 10. Both sides showing a little more pride in the run-stopping game. They've been bullied, they've been pushed around, and now they're making a fight back. Spread look here, and this will be a false start on likely Miles Dixon. One of the wide receivers on that far-hand side jumped off.
False start. Offense. Number 54. 5-yard
They end up calling it against an offensive lineman. 2nd foul of the day called against Zaire Young. So it's 2nd down and 15 here from the 26 as the clock counts down inside of 1 minute. Caught the wild snap off the left hit as he delivers the ball. And that's caught by Jurion Dickey as he fights forward. Headstand looking like a B-boy, picking up a gain of 17. Sam Waugh was there at the end of the play, and the heart and the vigor on display by Jurion there. Not giving up any sort of situation. Able to pick up a 1st down on the long play. Going to the near hand side this time over to Kai Taylor. And Taylor knocked out of bounds at the 47-yard line. Enough for a 10-yard gain. Eves Jelly Jr., the freshman defensive back, getting some early playing action here. Clock continues to run. They say he didn't get out of bounds. I believe it's actually he got out of bounds while going backwards. Quick pass delivered right into the bucket. Stays on his feet down the sideline. And Martese Ferguson with a big pickup. Flag down late. That is the accuracy on display of Kalani McLeod. Ferguson, I don't think, had his head turned around. That ball was thrown straight into his outreached arms. Holding called against the Vikings. Will send this one back. We don't have a replay of that last play, but that was insane. Ferguson didn't have his head turned around. McLeod just put it right on the money, put it right into the basket, and allowed an explosive play, but the holding call brings it back. Extremely sloppy start on both sides. Pardon me. I don't know how this is possible, but there's only 1 foul against Shasta officially compared to the 5 fouls for 62 yards on the Vikings. That feels incorrect. But with that, down to 36 seconds, 2 timeouts left in the pocket of the Vikings. McLeod out of the pistol, bunch set to the forehand side. McLeod, 3-step drop. He's hit, breaks 1 tackle, but the cavalry comes to bring him down. Dragged down hard. Finished off at the end of the play by Keon Jackson. Timeout taken to the Vikings here with 29 seconds remaining. Good to see McLeod able to get up under his own power. He was tabletopped in that situation. And the Vikings, the offense has been looking pretty good, but it's just been the penalties that have been looking pretty ugly up to this point. 8 first downs, 4 through the air, 4 on the ground, 3 for 4 on 3rd down, and 0 for 1 on 4th down as they set up that 4th down play on their opening drive that resulted in a turnover on downs on that 4th and 2. Vikings have not punted today. The offense has been on display as we give you some stats here. McLeod, 8 for 10, 125 yards and a touchdown. Ferrari Miller, 8 rushes, 80 yards, as he's averaging 10 a carry right now with the 35-yard long. McLeod at -1 rushing yards because of the sack yardage, but he does have a rushing touchdown on that zone read. Leaders in receiving, Kai Taylor with 48 yards. Jurion Dickey, the score through the air on the 26-yard reception. 29 seconds here. Second down and 24. 13 seconds left in the play clock. McLeod operating out of the gun, trips to the near-hand side. McLeod scans the field. McLeod steps up, rolls right, throws over to the near-hand side. And it's Kai Taylor with the catch for a gain of about 5 yards before Joe McCowan takes him down. The clock will stop here on third down. Another timeout taken by the Vikings. Won't take this one. Final timeout here. One more play to come. 13 seconds. No timeouts left for the Vikings here on DVC Vikings Live. Out to the field on third down and long. 3rd and 21 with 13 seconds remaining here. The Vikings took those last couple timeouts. And let's see what they've got drawn up here on 3rd and long. McLeod taking the chest high snap. Stepping up in the pocket once more. And a miscommunication. 2 receivers in the formation. It was between Miles Dixon and Jake Calcagno as that ball is airmailed over the top. Clock counts down to 9, and the Vikings will have to send out their first punt of the night. McLeod will come back out on the field. It's 4th down and 21 with 9 seconds remaining. The Vikings might try to burn 9 seconds off the clock, or maybe just force a turnout or force a timeout from Shasta.
Timeout. Shasta.
And that's exactly what happened. Vikings sent the offense here on 3rd down and long, and the Knights forced to take the timeout here. They've got 1 left with 9 seconds here in the half. I understand Coach Collins is aggressive, but he's definitely got something drawn up. He's got a trick up his sleeve if he intends to send the offense out here. I believe early in the season against Fresno, Jaden Macedo had a pooch punt in a situation that was about 4th down and 7. We have not seen McLeod with a kick up to this point. And so the Vikings offense looks to come back out here on 4th and 21. And what I believe is that the Vikings are going to just try to scramble and burn 9 seconds off the clock. 4th and 21 from their own 39-yard line. Vikings offense is here. Prevent defense. Rolling out to his right, buying time. Pressure comes late. Throws the ball high up in there. 3, 2, 1. And there'll be 1 second left on the play. Vikings weren't able to burn the full 9, so a turnover on downs here from the 39-yard line. And it's one more opportunity here for the Shasta Knights.
Turnover on down.
You want to burn as much time as possible. And the Vikings nearly got there. Great pressure towards the end of the play by Jared Cuenca. Some tough names tonight. The Vikings will send out Jurion Dickey alongside, so the hands team will come out. Ananias Walker and Jurion Dickey will be lined up right alongside the goal line. The last man out there alongside them will be Warren Brown. They'll go for it all. The Hail Mary. And this one intercepted by the Vikings down to the 10-yard line. Out to the 20, trying to find the sideline. And it is 28. That was Davion Sherlock instead, who came up, made the interception there on the Hail Mary. So turnaround downs and an interception on the other side of the Vikings offense will get a start here to start the second half of play. 14-0, our score here at the half. And we'll get you caught up on some stats as the Vikings start off their day on their second drive with a 6-play, 81 drive, capped up by a 26-yard touchdown pass from Kalani McLeod over to Jurion Dickey. And on their third drive of the day, 9 plays, 88 yards, taking 4 minutes and 15 seconds off the clock before read option from Kalani McLeod, able to get the touchdown on the ground. And this one has been a interesting matchup, to say the least. 7 penalties for 77 yards. The Vikings offense is been on display right now. 252 yards, 155 through the air, 97 on the ground in comparison to the 54 net yards from Shasta. They have 24 through the air. And in terms of rushing yards, they have 30 yards, a lot of them coming off the falling forward, hard running play style of Wyatt Simonio, is 34 yards on the day. And with that, man, a hectic start to the first 30 minutes of play. Vikings looking to clean things up here. 7 penalties, so uncharacteristic for this Viking squad. And with that, we'll take the timeout here. See you on the other side of the half here on DVC Vikings Live. The score here at the half, 14-0 with the Vikings leading. They scored on their second and third drives of the game. And the pace and the flow of this one has just felt a little wonky from the get-go. From the first holding call that was brought forward and then brought back to missed kick catch interference to some excessive celebration stuff. It's felt a little strange across the board, and the Vikings will get the ball to start. They won the toss, they deferred, so they will take it here at the second half. And a little interesting here in the second half of play as we get our look at the kicker and Juan Velasquez kicking it off for the first time tonight. And after the play, we'll give you a rundown of the situation that occurred at halftime. This one, two returnmen fielding at the same position out to the 20-yard line. Some space out to the 30, spun down, flew through the air for a gain of an additional 5 yards. And that was Nicholas Fox on the return, a late flag in as well. But the Vikings at the halftime break, they typically come out about 4 or 5 minutes before halftime is over, or before you got to come back and you go through your warm-ups, you do this and that. But the Vikings, they went into halftime for a little bit, came out, stood outside in the hallway for about 12 or 13 minutes, and then sportsmanlike conduct called against Shasta. So this will be their third penalty, making them 25 yards on the day, so the Vikings with some good starting field position. But yeah, they came out, they were standing out, hyping each other up. They came on the field, warmed up at about 9 minutes, got the hype song played over on the loudspeakers, and I believe the X's and O's are covered for Collins and company. But the DVC Vikings, under their second-year head coach, need to bring more energy, tighten things up, and that is where we stand currently. Vikings offense here from the 49-yard line. They'll get a great starting field position here. Handoff goes over to Miller, and Miller spun down only after a gain of 2 on the play. It was Jaron Cuenca able to come up and make the tackle, and that is something different that has been happening as well. DVC started the day off extremely well with the Vikings able to bring off some really tough, strong rushing. Ferrari Miller already above 100 yards rushing on 13 attempts up to this point. But the front seven of Shasta has really stepped things up here, and they have been doing a lot better in the running game. Sidearm delivery over to Kai Taylor. Taylor reverses field, has the ball knocked down in the field. The Vikings able to fall on top of it. Edgar Hernandez able to track that ball and fall right on top of it at the 46-yard line. And it'll be third down and about 6. First fumble of the year from Kai Taylor, and the Vikings fortuitously able to fall on top of it. Kai Taylor coming off a week where he received an offer from Idaho State to play wide receiver. Had an offer after leaving Boise State as a defensive back to play wide receiver there, and it looks like the Hawkins family wants him back up in the state of Idaho. Third down, over the middle, and it's stared in at the 30-yard line. High hands making the catch. It's Miles Dixon with a plethora of yardage for the first down. Miles Dixon has been the man you're looking for when you drop back up to this point. His 4th catch, and that'll bring him near Kai Taylor's numbers. 2 guys up near that 60-yard mark. Across the middle of the field, this one's caught up to the 10-5. The jump cut inside, and the Vikings score in the opening drive. Garrett Isumanu takes the distance, and the Vikings explode onto the field, and all that hype paying off here. Plenty of time to throw. Great job by that offensive line, and a 28-yard strike for a touchdown. It was only about a 7-yard pass, and Garrett Isumanu did the rest himself, the freshman out of Dublin. That's his 3rd touchdown of the year, 2 of them in this game. Fusick, the holder, gets the snap, put down, straight through the uprights, and it's 21-0 just like that. 1 minute, 59 seconds off the clock, 51 yards later, and the Vikings have taken to heart what Coach Collins was preaching at the half. That's a way to get this started. Feels weird, everything seems off. A personal foul brings the ball out to the 49-yard line, and all of a sudden, 3 plays later, after a fumble and a recovery by the offense, you take a yard. Hey, why not? The Shasta unit had a lot of success on their last drive. They brought in their bigger running back in Wyatt Simone, who had a heck of a start to his day. 6 rushes, 34 yards, as he was just churning forward for first down. So let's see what this offense with their second quarterback has in store. Guzman kicking this ball away, sending it left to right. High end over end kick will be fielded down to the 15-yard line. Cutting it back upside the field. Hit hard right at the 20-yard line. He was stuck. The returner was DeAndre Irvin, the sophomore wide receiver, and he was licked. Jamil Shelby was the one to come up and make the tackle and make the hard hit. Just putting a blanket on him. And so, DVC holding record Tweedy, 4 for 12, 24 yards and an interception through the interception on the Hail Mary. Obviously, it counts in the stat book, but that one not necessarily affecting the game so much, just a last-second effort to try to get the ball in the end zone with 1 play remaining, or 1 second remaining, I should say. And they'll go right back to the running game, and the Vikings having a party in the backfield here. A loss of 2 on the play as 3 different Vikings came inside. It was Wesley Garton coming up to lead the pack. A loss of a yard on the play. They'll continue with Wyatt Simone in the backfield. Up to this point in the season, 11 rushing attempts. Came into this one with 5. And it looks like the Vikings just proven that they are the more physical team, or trying to prove it, I should say, facing against this 12 personnel. Passing situation now, stepping up, throwing across the middle of the field, and it's caught by the tight end. 2 Vikings taken down as Jacob Rosensteel able to pick up a gain of 6 on the play. Journey McCoy and Santino Azevedo eventually drag him down to the floor. Rosensteel, an interesting story. Redshirt freshman out of Napa, ended up going to Eastern Illinois out of high school, where he redshirted there as a quarterback, and then switched over to the tight end position here at Shasta College. His father, Bob Rosensteel, played tight end for the Raiders and a few other squads back in the day. So going back to Shasta and switching positions over to his father's spot. Good job surveying the pocket, and the second tight end catches it a yard short. Chuka Savini. Second catch as Aaron Woodard able to make the tackle. And the punt team will come out at 3 and out, potentially forced here. You got to look for a fake. But as it stands currently, the Vikings seem to be able to get off the field. Diego Rocio, the running back and the punter. He is the 3rd down back. Long snapper is Dalton Kelly. This one, a low winding punt, put plenty of leg behind it. Bounces out to the 20, down to the 5, and it stops right at the 1 yard line. They fall forward with some momentum, and Shasta butchers it. That was a package delivered right to the half-yard line, and the Knights can't get out of their own way. Ball will be brought out to the 20 instead of spotted down at the half. It was a 69-yard punt initially, 70 yards officially, and then brought out 20 yards. It would have been 69 if it landed at the 1. But instead of a nice opportunity with the punt, it's a touchback. The Vikings get the ball from the 4 hash mark here at the 20-yard line. They'll be working left to right. Second drive here as they score in 3 plays on the previous. Play action fake sidearm delivery across the middle of the field, and the pass completed to Miles Dixon. Dixon leading the team in receptions at this point after the 9-yard catch. Shanjay Finister was able to get the tackle. Ferguson is in the backfield. Plenty of time to throw for McLeod. McLeod a little too far behind his intended receiver. Garrett Isumanu was the man that they were targeting. But on second down and short, Vikings feeling comfortable here. Furry Miller not in the backfield. It is Martese Ferguson. Saw him crack off a 83-yard rush for a touchdown last week. We'll look for the read option potentially in this situation. 4-man front. It's a lighter box with the nickel. The safety creeping down into the box momentarily. Quick pass to the far sideline. Spins around as Taylor. And Taylor, wholehearted effort, able to try to get close to the first down yardage. A flag comes in late. Taylor was wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage, was able to drag defenders forward for a gain of a yard. Now let's see what this foul is on. It's on the far sideline. A face mask on Shasta. So all the penalties that were going the way of Shasta in the first half are starting to come and be paid back in full. Personal fouls all across the board in the Vikings in the first half, and 2 personal fouls already. 15 yards times 2, 30 yards of penalties here. 9:50 counting down here. First down and 10 from the 45-yard line from the far hash. It's McLeod. McLeod and Ferguson out of that shotgun look. Pressure potentially being sent off that right side. They send the pressure. McLeod steps up. McLeod delivers, and it's caught by Dixon. Dixon holds onto the ball strong as he's able to pick up 18 yards on the play before Ivan Morales takes him to the dirt. Officials take the timeout for an injured Shasta player, and we'll take the timeout as well here on DVC Vikings Live. First down and 10 here, 9:20 counting down. Looking to set up the screenplay. Over to Ferguson as a flag comes in late. Ferguson with a nice explosive shovel alongside that far sideline. Was able to pick up 15 on the play, but flag will likely go on the Vikings for a hold. Giancarlo DiSolini made the stop on the far side. And the holding will go against the tackle, Drake Sampton. Sampton, the freshman out of Vintage. And if the timelines line up here, I believe the person we were talking about a moment ago in Jacob Rosensteel was the quarterback being blocked by Drake Sampton. So small world there. Sampton has been a nice addition to this offensive line for the Vikings here. Versatility, able to play both sides of the offensive line. But unfortunately, the hold for him makes it first down and 20. 9 minutes ticking still. McLeod with the trip set to his near hand side, out of the gun. Play action fake, sidearm delivery. This one goes to Dixon again. Dixon falls down right at the original line of scrimmage. They'll give him 11 yards on the reception, and that makes it second down and 9. A nice pickup there as Dixon being force-fed at this point. We've been talking about a bunch of people getting involved. Miles Dixon, the leading receiver now, 6 receptions, 81 yards. Rolls back right, sets up the screen pass over to Ferguson as he juggles the ball. Ferguson out to the 30-yard line, top of the numbers, 20, out to the sideline, 10-5, touchdown Vikings. The screen pass for 38 yards successful, but a flag laid down at the 40-yard line on top of the numbers. Ferguson has been so good out of the backfield. The screen passes have not been working in the first half of play, but there you can just see perfect job setting your man up in space. But unfortunately, another hold called against Drake Sampton takes the highlight rush away, or the highlight catch. Hate to see it, especially as an offensive lineman in that situation. You're just taught pass block a few steps and then get out of there. Second and 19 now after the penalty. All the hard work from Dixon, take it away, except for a 1 yard, and then hard work from Dixon. He's the one that got them there, and Ferguson almost went in for 6. So the hard work from Ferguson, I should say. Second and 9, 8:17 counting down. Handoff right side. No space this time around. Martise Ferguson dragged down by the hip by Tupai. Sophomore from Waiawa, Hawaii. Penalties really hindering the Vikings here in the second half on this drive. It's been 9 yards forward, or 11 yards forward, I should say, and 10 yards back. Now it's 3rd and 22. Single high shell, soft coverage across the board. Vikings operating out of an empty set. One of the first times we're seeing it today. 4-man rush, pressure comes in late. Has his man out to the 40. Some space to the 30. Stays on his feet. Man on his ankle out to the 31-yard line. Darian Mirage on his first reception of the day. Gets the Vikings in a situation where they can go for it now on 4th down, and that's exactly what the offense will do. 18-yard reception on the play by Darian Mirage, and Shasta hating what they see. They're going to take a timeout. Where's it? Or it's DVC actually taking the timeout. So DVC takes the timeout. They'll burn their first here with 7:01 remaining in the third, and we'll take the timeout as well here on DVC Vikings Live. So correction on the field. We were correct. It was Shasta that took the timeout here on 4th down. So 4th down and 3. After the 18-yard reception from Darian Mirage, hits the Vikings up here to go for it. From the 31-yard line, Kalani McLeod has taken all the snaps in this one. McLeod, late pressure comes in front of him, rolls out left, shuffles his feet, eyeing down the field, and he'll take a sack on 4th down. A loss of 13 on the play as McLeod is drilled. Aiden Nguyen, one of the guys back there to make the stop. And the Vikings today have not had a doubt up here on 4th down. Typically very strong as they are 4 for 9 going into this one, which ranks 27th in 3C2A, but 0 for 2 on the afternoon. And Shasta's offense needs to get things in gear now as they trail by 21 here with 7 minutes remaining. They'll continue to work out of their big set with Wyatt Simone in the backfield. Living in that 12 personnel, 2 tight ends, 1 running back. Zone read over to the right side. Simone sniffed out immediately. Wesley Garton right there on the spot. Like a heat-seeking missile, he is finding that man in the backfield. No gain on the play. Jeremiah Foney alongside Caleb Pilecki, making up the inside of that defensive line right now. Pilecki actually lined up at that right side defensive end spot as it's 2nd down and 10. Play action fake, trying to set up the screen pass on the bubble to the wide receiver on the far sideline. They were trying to target Jared Best, but Ananias Walker not giving that any sort of breathing room. So after getting the stop, the big sack on 4th down, the Vikings looking to get back to what we saw in the first half against Sacramento City College and just keep sending 3 and outs. Content to run with this 2 tight end set is Shasta. Even on 3rd and long. 3-step drop, stagger stance. Flag comes in late as that ball is delivered past midfield out to the 49-yard line. No, it is intercepted. The interception was made by Marley Alapati. He was fighting on that ball late. He continued to just fight and scrape to get that ball away. He just stole that ball right out of the hands of Jake and Rosensteel. Marley Alapati, have yourself a play. The hold goes against Shasta, but the Vikings would be mistaken if they were to be taking this penalty. Penalty is declined. I don't understand what's taking them this long. Vikings defense still on the field. The Whitecap getting some help from his side judge.
The reception was simultaneous. By rule, the ball belongs to the offense.
The reception was simultaneous, so they're saying it belongs to the offense. Coach Collins is livid. I've never seen that situation. It's whoever comes down with the ball and takes it away that gets it usually. Halloween coming in late September. It is a freaky Friday night here from Viking Stadium. All the oddities on display. Bunch of different rules that we're seeing not called and called. But the holding call will bring the ball back. Alapati, you can still throw that one in the highlight tape, buddy. You deserve it. You got that interception to my heart. That's 3rd down and 20 from the 34-yard line. Riker Tweedy and the Shasta offense having an opportunity here. They'll keep it on the ground on 3rd down and long. Steady. Saying, hey, we live to fight another down. One of the offensive linemen injured at the end of the play after a nosedive of a rush from Wyatt Simone. Only goes forward for a gain of 5 on 4th and 20. Punt will come out onto the field. Caleb Pilecki was the man to drag him down at the end of the play. And man, oddities all about. Hurt Shasta player, so we'll take the timeout here on DVC Vikings Live. Elijah Bowe, the deep man after the 5-yard rush on the play. Diego Rocio, the punter, and third down back. Setting this one away on a low spiral. This one fielded down to the 14-yard line. Opportunity to return it, but Bowe slips up. The turf monster caught him down to the 15-yard line. 46 yards on the punt. Diego Rocio has not had a lot of air under these balls, but man, he's been putting some good spots on it. 5 punts for Rocio, 4 of them inside of the 20, one of them 50 yards plus. Have yourself a day, punter. After all is said and done, the ball will be spotted down at the 15-yard line. 5:37 counting down here for the far hash mark. New running back there. And they'll hand it off, bouncing it to the outside, weaving his way back inside. Now up to the 25, the 30. Having some space alongside the 45-yard line. It's Ferrari Miller back in, showing his patience as he springs free for a massive gain on the play. 35 yards on the rush as it's a penalty flag. This one likely coming back. Vikings already with 2 holds in this half. And it is an illegal block in the back on the offense here. Half the distance to the goal will march the Vikings back to the 7.5-yard line. So from the 7.5-yard line, we've got a new quarterback in there as well as Jaden Macedo comes back in. Not a second guy. He's wearing number 2, but he's more so the 1B. Vikings very confident in both the quarterbacks they have. I mean, all 4 of them really, whether it's Bryce Fusick or even going all the way down to Sawyer Gaff. Jaden Macedo out of the shotgun. Swing pass out to the forehand side, showing some patience along the sideline. Laying a defender down to the 13-yard line. A pickup of 9 on the play before Sam Wah is finally able to bring him down, and Miles Dixon continues his great evening. Talon Leon Guerrero also coming up. Getting your quarterback in rhythm early, Jaden Macedo. Play action fake. Macedo drawing it up the middle. Macedo space along the sideline, 30, 35-yard line, stepping out of bounds. And that is the dynamic ability of number 2. Eventually pushed out of bounds by Sean J. Finister. A rush of 14 on the play, and another injured player down for Shasta. Man, Knights are going down here. Fortunately, this one looks like a cramp, but we'll take the timeout anyways here on DVC Vikings Live. .420 counting down here after the timeout. The clock is running as the Vikings lead 21-0. This one, a lateral pass that went backwards, so the Vikings will lose 3 yards on the lateral. Jada Macedo ran a speed option to that right-hand side, trying to go to the pitch man on the outside. And a loss of 3 and a loss of the down as well. Jake Calcagno comes out. Jurion Dickey comes out as the far side receiver. Miles Dixon's alongside with him. Kai Taylor, the lone receiver on the near-hand side. Out of the gun, Macedo and Miller. Miller with some space along the middle of the field from the near hash mark. Ferrari Miller. On third down, he shifts it into fourth gear and powers his way through to the first down. Elijah Zauer gets his third tackle of the season, and the Vikings with a huge pickup there on third down, man. Ferrari has been eating. Power all throughout that range for Ferrari. They'll go back to Ferrari on the reverse handoff. Miller breaks out of one tackle, hits the spin button a little too many times. 1, 2, 3. Tackled down after a gain of 2. Jared Cuenca got there on the spot. He hit that circle button 3 times. 90, 90, 90. Finally went 180 before falling forward for a gain of 1 right to midfield. Right on the DVC V of their midfield logo. Macedo will be joined by Martise Ferguson, who comes in the backfield now. 7-step drop. Stepping up, going for the deep ball, trying to find Dickey. An incomplete pass. Good coverage on the play there by Yves Jelly Jr. That'll bring up third down and 9. The dime package coming out here on third and long. And the Vikings sending out their tight end as Garrett Isumanu and Darian Mirage will come down here on third down and long from midfield. The Vikings have been going for it on fourth down and short today. Let's see if they try to set up another fourth down here with the 21-point lead, or if they go for all 10. Quick screen pass. Oh, nowhere to go, and a hard hit at the end of the play as well. They tried to get the ball over to Darian Mirage on the screen, and he was just upended. Adrian Nguyen. Great coverage on the play, and it's fourth down. And it took all of 33 minutes before we finally get a look at Jacob Johnson. JJ, only 8 punts on the year, as this offense has been dynamic, and the 5-star punter from CSK. Number 1 punter in California here at this level. We get an opportunity to pin them inside of the 20. JJ, high, winding, punt, fair catch made as the ball bounces down to the 2. Great job there, faking everybody out. The man on the gunner in Davian Sherlock hopped all the way into the end zone trying to knock that ball away, but that is the first touchback of the year for JJ, and that ball out to the 20. 51-yard punt on the play, a 31-yard net. And they'll get the ball from their own 20-yard line. Shasta just looking for anything to get them going. Wyatt Somoni was the man to get them going on that last successful drive that they've had, but they look to work away, and it looks like Diego Recio, the man who's been doing such a good job in the punting game, typically seen as the third down back, runs forward into a pile. Half a yard on the play, maybe. Malachi Tupai, or pardon me, got my wires crossed there. Star Taimani. The man, every single time you hear his name, you get a loud applause from all of his friends and family there for the defensive end. He'll shift inside as a defensive tackle now. Five-man front. Aaron Woodard lined up alongside the right side tight end. Low snap handled well. Go ball down the far sideline. Great coverage across the play. Ananias Walker all over Chance Tager. Walker, gray-shirted over at College of San Mateo last year, coming here to the Valley, already has an offer from Go Sac State. The former three-star athlete, having 8+ offers to play wide receiver at Power 4 schools. Showing that he's got the speed and coverage ability to match up with anybody here at this level. Talk about some of the names. Oregon, Miami, Washington, Cal. He has a full scene of offers. Rolling out right, throws it off his back foot into the dirt. The pressure on the play by Caleb Pilecki. Screaming off that edge. It's the redshirt sophomore from Jesse Bethel. And the Vikings will force another 3 and out here as the clock stops with 1:42 in the third. Jurion Dickey will line up as the punt returner now. Dickey has been an explosive punt returner all throughout his high school career. Played a lot of special teams earlier in his collegiate career. And now let's see what he's got in store. This one, a low swirling punt. Dickey will field it down to the 41-yard line. Drops the ball. This one's still live. Picks it up on the one scooper. Out to the 40 as he stiff arms a man down to the 45-yard line. Ivan Morales on special teams able to make the tackle after the absolutely wild play on the punt. You can see the strength of Dickey on display. Morales is not a weak player whatsoever. It was able to drive him into the dirt to be able to pick up another 5 yards on the play. Kalani McLeod is back. Him and Ferrari Miller make it the backfield. Miles Moore will be the tight end off that right side of the line. 3 receivers split out to the far side from the near hash mark. That's McLeod staring down the 2-man front. It's actually 12 personnel as Amani Effeldill was the tight end off the left side. And not much room to work off the left side. Victor Jimenez making his first tackle of the game. Jimenez, a great athlete, the sophomore out of Corning, California. You see the power on that play, but if he needs to go out and cover, runs a 4.71. Not bad for a linebacker at his size. Inside of 1 minute to play here on the third quarter. 2nd down and 11 after the negative play. Offset shotgun spread right between the hashes. It's McLeod. 3-step drop. McLeod, plenty of time to throw, and it's a late ball batted away. Malachi Tupai climbing the ladder. All 6'3", 310 pounds, went up to swat that ball down. Vikings were playing volleyball in the gym to her left, but we see a one-handed jam there on the field. That's what they teach you. If you can't get to the quarterback, get in the passing lane. And that is one of the first batted balls we've seen from McLeod this year. Listed as 6'1", 200. You can find some other spots that say 6'2" online, so I'll give him the extra inch of height. But McLeod usually doing a good job with that delivery. A defensive holding will result in a 10-yard penalty. And the Vikings offense getting some fresh life here. First down on the holding penalty called against the defense. And officially, he has not had a ball batted away now. Vikings will bring in Amani Elfadil and Jurian Dickey to replace Garrett Isamanu and Darian Mirage. A little bit bigger of a set here. Dickey and Dixon will be the receivers to the near-hand side. And Miller will dot that pistol look with McLeod. Right between the hashes here at the 46-yard line of the Knights. Turnaround, give over to the back. Shuffling his way outside. Ferrari Miller breaks one tackle. Enough yardage for the first down. 12 yards rushing on the play. Eventually brought down by N.J. Jackson. But that is the patience on display of Ferrari Miller as the Vikings moving with tempo. Up 21 here, 19 seconds left. They'll stretch it to the right-hand side. And after a great play, a 1-yard rush. That should bring us to the end of the first. So a 1-yard rush on the play. Aiden Nguyen able to get the tackle to end the first half of play. A little shaken up at the end of the play as a Vikings defender. But that'll send us to the end of the third quarter. 21-0. A dominating day for the Vikings here as we go to the fourth here on DVC Vikings Live. Pitch goes over to Ferguson as he's able to pick up the first down after Ferrari Miller was helped off the field. Fixing the graphic a little bit here. Vikings We realize are ranked number 5, not number 6, but that does not look great, so we'll actually take this one away. No harm, no foul. So Vikings ranked number 5, not number 6. There's a typo on our score bug. The Kalani McLeod here on 3rd down and long from the 35. He'll drop back to pass it. Looks towards the far sideline. High ball. High points that ball. Miles Dixon about half a yard shy. Tinam Nudu was the man to make the tackle, and injuries are piling up on both sides. Miles Dixon, that is his 9th reception of the day, over 100 yards receiving, and he's shaken up at the end of that play. Should be about half a yard shy if the mark is correct. So an injury on the field. We'll take it as well here on DVC Vikings Live. Dixon a little shaken up at the end of the play. Looked like he just needed to stretch out that hammy. The terrific athletic training staff of the Vikings able to help him up. Looks like it won't be anything perfect. Dixon's beginning a lot of run today. So after the catch from Dixon, right here in the 4th quarter, 3:56 counting down, the clock will continue to run. Dixon 9 catches for 112 yards, and on 4th down and half of a yard from the 25-yard line. Vikings going for it here. Tighten up the left side of the offensive line is Elfadil from that far hash mark. Miller in the backfield. Sending out the full-out run blitz here. And they'll let the clock go down to 0. Let's see if the Vikings took the timeout in time. A delay of game on the offense, and this makes things a little more interesting. Ferguson is actually the back of the backfield. It's 13, not 10. So it'd be a 48-yard field goal attempt from this current spot. The Vikings offense will go for it now on 4th down and 6. Sub package comes in with Mirage and Isamanu. Isamanu having a great day. Two catches, 36 yards, and a touchdown. Ferguson in the backfield alongside McLeod here on 4th down and 6 from the 30. 3-step drop, pressure comes in his face, delivers on the sidearm, breaks defenders down to the 5, touchdown! Darian Mirage does it himself. A great delivery from the quarterback in McLeod, and then the athleticism of the sophomore from O'Day, Seattle, all day. On the quick slant, caught it for the 1st down, broke 1 tackle, broke 2 tackles that took the ball down the sideline. Back-to-back games for Darian Mirage with the touchdown. Had 7 catches, 123 yards, and a touchdown, both straight through the hands of Fusick. And the Vikings unable to convert the 2nd time in back-to-back games that we've seen. Difficult snaps go straight through the hands of Fusick. So the score will stay 27-0. Vikings averaging 39 points per game. That's 14th in the 3C 2A. And they're averaging just 0.2 yards under 500 on offense, which is top 10 in the association. Up to this point tonight for the Vikings, 437 yards, 5 for 11 on third down, 2 for 5 on fourth down. 21 first downs for the Vikings here. 10 of them passing, 9 of them rushing, 2 of them on penalties. And up to this point, it's been all Vikings. Cracked open some scoring with Churion Dickey on a 26-yard pass. That was 7-0 for the Vikings. Kalani McLeod on the read option got a 3-yard score. And then we had a little bit of a drought until the beginning of the third quarter of play where Garrett Isamanu got a 28-yard passing touchdown. And then that last one on a beauty, Darian Mirage. Kickoff unit comes out. Adrian Guzman sends it away. He's been putting them in play. Late substitution here. And the Vikings will just move the gunner from one side to the other. Jotting forward, sends the right leg forward, and Guzman. High kick towards the sideline. This one dropped out of bounds. Obviously touched by the return man. Was he out of bounds as the ball went out of bounds, though? Keonjay Irving was the man to return it. There's no flag on the play, however. Yeah, muffed kick out of bounds. So that ball will go back to the 14-yard line. So there is a situation in which if the return man declares himself out of bounds and then catches that ball or makes contact with the ball will go out of bounds immediately up to that point. But he was still in play when he touched the ball. That's why when he muffed it out of bounds, it's spotted down there. So saving a ton of yards on the play. Instead of the ball out to the 35, this ball will be out to the 15, so the 14 rather. So a lot of yards saved on the play here. First down and 10, 12:55 remaining in the fourth here. Vikings trying to close out their non-conference play with an undefeated start, the first time since 2011. And they are on track for that. I feel like I've been here for a very long time, playing back in 2014 for the Vikings, and that was even before my time, and we had some great years in between then. Vikings with a rich history, and now under the Coach Collins era, the future is only looking brighter and brighter and brighter. Wyatt Simone will come back in. He's turning the lead back tonight after having a very successful drive in the second. Tassini Maake getting the tackle there. Maake played both ways in high school. Had a lot of family that played for DBC as well. 1 of 7 for the sophomore out of Northgate. And it's third down now, 3rd and 7. 2:10 counting down. 3-step drop, looking for the crossing route. Has to roll forward. Ball's out of his hands, and it's recovered by the Vikings. Io Phillips came through, uppercutted that ball out, and the Vikings get a takeaway here in the 4th. Let's take a look at that one. Great job beating the tackle off the edge. Got right past the spot. Superman dive as he punched that ball out with that smooth uppercut KO. And let's not forget about the man dropping on top of that ball. Amani Holiday, 25. He's a running back, but guess he was in there on the defensive side to fall right on top of that ball. Working out of the trip set, dropping the ball himself. Has to just fall forward as a flag comes in late. Undesigned, or not designed, quarterback run will bring the Vikings into the red zone from the 19-yard line, but a late flag. Jared Cuenca, the freshman defensive lineman, if this play holds up, will be credited with the tackle. Cuenca has had a few tackles as this flag is waved down. No foul in the play. They're just going to keep it moving. The new rules of college football, the clock only stops on a timeout and on an incomplete pass until you get into 2 minutes of play, whereas then you can work the out of bounds and earn some time back. And in this situation, the clock will continue to run. In the NFL, it's at the 5-minute mark when this situation happens, just keeping the flow of the game going a little bit better. Vikings in the same formation. The lone man on the top is Monty Elfadil. This one straight through the hands of Dixon. The first drop we've seen from him today. That would have been his 10th catch if he was able to bring it in. It would have also been a first down. Samoa just did enough to get in front of that crossing path to force a third down. 3rd and 7 from right on top of the red zone 20. The speedsters come in, and Darian Mirage and Garrett Isamanu. Both men running track in high school. Mirage, who got that last touchdown score, played for Santa Rosa Junior College last year. A transfer into the program, and he has been so effective. Setting up screen to the right-hand side. Read well by the defense. Having to roll left now, and delivers the ball over to Dixon, who falls forward to the 10-yard line for the first down. Samoa was there, and I think they're going to call this one a legal man downfield. When you get those screen passes going, that is just what happens. Those offensive linemen try to get up in front, get ahead, and he only really allowed that 2 to 3 yard buffer space. So what would have been a first down and the 10th grab on the day by Miles Dixon will send the Vikings back. I apologize to all of our lovely gray shirts. With 11 penalties for over 100 yards, you will be running gassers this week. On 3rd and long, pressure comes, and it's Dixon catching it on the post for the touchdown. Miles Dixon has done everything today, and on his 10th reception, he's over 120 yards receiving and gets the touchdown as well. Have yourself a night, Miles. 10:54 here in the 4th, and the Vikings scoring has gotten kicked into gear. Last time we saw this situation, it was a botched hold there by Fusick. Hard snap, held well this time around, and splitting the spires perfectly. 34-0, 10:54 remaining here in this 4th quarter of play. The defense has turned things up here in the second half. If my recollection is correct, Vikings defense has not given up a first down here in the second half. This is a tough Shasta team despite being 0-4, so for the Vikings to be able to come out and finally get this performance kicked into gear, it's great to see. That last drive set up by the turnover as Io Phillips was able to punch that ball out, and the Vikings able to capitalize points off turnover. Handling all the kicks today is Adrian Guzman. We saw Daniel Sokol a week ago, but Guzman getting the nod this week. Putting plenty of leg on this one, and this one drops right into the front of the end zone. It was dropped off at the half-yard line, taking a Vikings bounce initially, and it will go back for a touchback. So the touchback will send the ball out to the 25-yard line, and the Vikings with the 34 to zip advantage here. This offense really just doing their best with Riker Tweedy. Losing Jaden Crace before this one, their typical starter. Tweedy up to this point in the evening, 6 for 18, and a flag before we can even get anything going. Diego Rocio is out on the field alongside Wyatt Simone. 78 was the offensive lineman called for the false start. And that is Carson Miller. Elgin Faramo was injured at the 5:54 mark of the third quarter. And it looks like Miller has come in his stead. Too high shell. Handoff back over to the back. Breaking one tackle out to the 25-yard line. And a hard drive down to the dirt. Warren Brown keeps the feet churning. And it'll be 2nd and 10 after the rush of 5. That is what they teach you. Keep chopping your feet, keep moving forward, and don't quit. Warren Brown, the 6', 210 redshirt freshman from Strake Jesuit in Houston, Texas. The bounce back from Charleston State University. A motion, Cuenca across the formation, and they throw the ball over to the running back out into the flat. Hard hit delivered by the running back as he goes forward for a gain of 6. Diego Rocio. We've seen Shasta run some two-back pistol early on in this game. Journey McCoy makes the tackle at the end of the play for the Vikings, but in this situation, they're going a little bit different. They're showing fly sweep with Diego Rocio, their third down back. And they're showing slightly different look than what initially we've anticipated. 3rd and 4. Same fly motion. They'll go back to the same exact play. Makes one man miss. And the rest of the Vikings able to hold him up for a gain of 3. Jamil Shelby. The sophomore Adam McClymans brings up the 4th down. Clock continues to run down inside of 9 minutes to play. 4th down and 1 here from the 34-yard line. Wyatt Simone has been averaging 4.5 yards per rush. Will they go back to the big back? They do so. And he's stopped right at the line of scrimmage. He maybe got half a yard. The Vikings. Let's see if they got off the field. That ball spot well shy. The Vikings are going to get off the field here on 4th down. Turnover on downs. The defense steps up again. 3 and out. Nope, it's a 4 and out. Io Phillips continues to force turnovers for the Vikings. The freshman out of Curtis University in Place, Washington, with 2 forced turnovers here. One of them on downs, one of them on the fumble. Now can the Vikings capitalize here? They were able to score last time. Points off turnover is a big category in basketball and in football. Jaden Macedo In at quarterback, Elijah Bowe in at running back, play action fake. Going for it all. Back of the end zone and a home run ball on the very first play of the drive. Darian Mirage does it again. 2 touchdowns on back-to-back drives. That play action sucked up the defense, got a great block, and that baby was delivered. Jada Macedo, call that man the stork because he delivered that thing. (40-0). Vikings break this one open in the second half. I mean, I can't really say that as the Vikings had a pretty dominant lead in the first, but it wasn't the X's and O's. It was all energy and effort. And that has turned everything around here in the second. One play later, both quarterbacks with the passing touchdown. McLeod 21 for 28, 324 yards, 4 touchdowns. Jada Macedo 2 for 5. But that one was a beauty. 2 for 5, 45 yards and a touchdown. Touchback the last time we saw him in Adrian Guzman. And the Vikings are above their season average now. Looked a little shaky for a moment, averaging 39 points per game, and this Vikings offense has exploded on the scene after a tough start in Fresno, as that one was a 10-3 victory, as the Vikings were able to move the ball up and down the field, but weren't able to capitalize in the end zone. Call it week 1 jitters on the road, taking down a very tough Fresno team. And they're all so on their way to get to 5-0. Falling to the ground, the Turf Monsters caught up a few different men inside of the 10-yard line there on the north side of the field. Ball will be spotted down to the half-yard line as Aiden McFall falls to the turf. So Shasta at the shadow of their own end zone here in the fourth quarter with 8:20 remaining. The Knights played the Vikings tough early on. This Vikings defense has closed the door completely up to this point in the second half. Rush off the left side. Plenty of space and a great run for a gain of 7. Nice job by Wyatt Simone as Vincent Branson was the man to take him down. Freshman out of San Ramon, Doherty Valley product. And now it's second down, so getting out of their own shadow of the end zone very quickly. Trying to show some finesse on the far side now. Only able to get half a yard on the rush this time around. Another tackle on consecutive plays by Vincent Branson. Jordan Snowden also got alongside that play. They'll actually give him enough for the first down. I thought they stopped him for half a yard, but they'll give him 2. Wyatt Simone will come off the field after 13 rushes, 14 rushes now for 56 yards. And from the 12, Shasta able to pick up their first down here in the second half, if I'm not mistaken. Diego Recio will be the back. Haven't seen much of Trevin Crane after his first few rushes. Play action fake. And that is an interception delivered right into the stomach. That is Kaleo Hall switching numbers today. The sophomore linebacker of Sherwood gets... No, he does not get the interception. They say he did not complete the pass. Switching from 58 to 43 is Kaleo Hall. But unfortunately, the easiest interception he would have made in his career was not able to convert. Second and 10 now from the 13-yard line. They'll stay on the ground this time around. Simone, some space along the far sideline. A lot of lateral running. Running a half gasser for a gain of 3 on the play. Just fighting for yardage is Simone. Jeremy McCoy, some of those starters still in the game, getting some great tape. The redshirt sophomore from De La Salle. DeAndre Minto, the 5'10 sophomore from Oakland Tech, comes in, and you can hear the excited energy of our linebackers. Coach Logan Noni's to the left. Very happy to see that long flowing hair brushing over that 33. Third down and 6. They'll go back to the swing pass. And once again, getting right to that spot. Half a yard gain on the play. Vincent Branson was there, and guess who? That is DeAndre Minto. All the defensive staff to the left of us, ecstatic to see their guy getting the tackle. Timeout on the play. And on fourth down with 5:40 remaining in the fourth, we'll take our timeout as well. It is fourth down and 6, and the punter will come out. Low winding punt, touches down to the 45-yard line, taking one bounce out to the 45-yard line as the Vikings return man able to pick it up and fall forward for a gain of 2. Nicholas Fox was the return man on the play. 38-yard punt with the 2-yard return.
Ryder May with that last tackle. First down, Vikes. 46.
First down and 10 for the Vikings offense here. And it's Macedo off his home run ball. This one a screen pass. Enough for the first down. Jake Calcagno, his first reception of the evening, goes forward for a gain of 10. Ivan Morales diagnosing the play. Able to stop it actually a yard short of the first down, a 9-yard gain on there. Macedo, another bubble screen out to the forehand side. This one caught, taken out to the 35-yard line. Khalid Robinson getting his first reception of the day. Finister finished the play, but it is a first down for the Vikings. And this offense is moving. Vikings don't care about the situation. A blown coverage. And all the way down to the 4-yard line. Jake Calcagno had the end zone in his eyes, but he wasn't able to get there. Finister with a touchdown saving tackle. 30-yard reception, but Calcagno wants that one back. He wants in for 6. Timeout by Shasta, and why not? Timeout taken here with us as well. Ball spotted down the 5-yard line. Elijah Bowe in the backfield with Jaden, pardon me. Macedo, the shovel pass on the reverse, and it's a touchdown for the Vikings. Cole Tome on the reverse, in for 6. Great play design there by the Vikings. And because it is a shuffle pass, that is going to be the second passing touchdown of the evening for Jaden Macedo. Macedo has had some great deep ball accuracy tonight. And on the quick shovel pass, he'll collect his second TD. Splitting the uprights for the touchdown. And the score, 48-0. The defense is going to keep fighting all the way through, because if you shut out the opposition, you know what you get? You get some donuts. Defense looking to collect some donuts. Unfortunately, they're going to have to run them right off with those 12 penalties for 114 yards. But hey, better to have had donuts and ran them off than to never have had any at all.
Now back to 17.
Different return men now. DeAndre Irving and Trace Hanks, the 2 men for Shasta. Vikings have asserted their dominance here in the second half of play. And after 2 follies and back-to-back plays on the return game, some shifting around on that return side. Macedo 6 for 9, 98 yards, 2 touchdowns after that shovel pass. Putting his leg into it. And a low line drive kick, fair caught. And that ball we brought out to the 20-yard line. Guzman just needing to keep a couple more yards to put that one in the end zone. That last drive for the Vikings. 4 plays, 54 yards, and the touchdown. First down and 10 for the Knights as they have not gotten a first down here in the second half, if I'm not mistaken. It might have gone 1, no? Not sure. Big boy prescribes the pill over to Wyatt Simone. And the 230 back. After all the action he's been getting, he's going to be under 220 pounds, man. He has been sprinting. Back in high school, the Cal High Sports Small School All-State team member. I can understand why. Averaging 4 yards per carry, 16 rushes for 65 yards. They'll go for the pass this time around. Step for step. Vincent Branson was there as they tried to feed it deep to Trey Hanks. Hanks, a 2-star recruit at high school, out of the 2022 class, spent 1 year at Central Washington, a Division II program. He's a very capable athlete that the Vikings have shut down. First team all-area, second team all-state. The man runs a 4.5 40, so that is oh so impressive to be able to go step by step for him. And Vincent Branson, a speedster in his own regard, the 6'3" freshman out of San Ramon, knows how to get some coverage as Branson goes ahead and spikes that ball down on 3rd down. They were looking for Chance Tager again. And Vincent Branson with a couple great plays back-to-back. Gets some love from his defensive backs coach there. Dejon Gomes going up and giving the shoulder bump. He was lined up in the booth, but as the score goes there, they go enjoy their time alongside that sideline. Him and Logan Nones up in the booth. Calcagno is lined up at the 50, and it looks to be Fox as the deeper man at the 34-yard line. High winding punt, fielded down at the 34-yard line. It's Fox that breaks the tackle at the 40-yard line. Turns the sideline, 45. Nice return on the play. Fox steps out of bounds at the 44-yard line. That is where the low punts start to bite you. 36-yard punt on a 10-yard return, 26-yard net punt. And the Vikings will take the ball to the 46. Pardon me, it's the 44-yard line. It'll be Jaden Macedo and Elijah Bowe for the rest of this one. Rory Miller, the leading rusher in the game. 19 attempts for 135 yards. No touchdowns. Deep ball delivery once again. Thrown over the top. Attempted to get that ball over to Jake Calcagno. Clock will stop at 3:12. Fans still in their seats here, as this one is all set. Handoff, breaks one tackle in the backfield, and it's Elijah Bowe with space alongside the 30. Turns upfield on the 25-yard line, down to the 21. Elijah Bowe with an explosive run of 19 yards. Anthony Kepler able to get that ball. Officially a 23-yard rush on the play. Trip set to the far side. Toss to the right side. Breaks one defender down. Space out to the 15-yard line. Foot in the dirt down to the 8. The shiftiness of Bowe on display. 12 yards on the rush, and he should have been dead to his rights as the defensive end was right up in his face. Porter Lane was right there, and you could see him on the ground looking like Will Levis, hands on his head. Can't believe he missed that tackle. Out to the 8. Sprint left. Macedo. He's going to run for it. 5-yard line. Hit hard down to the 3. A crunch delivered between Victor Jimenez and another player, as this will bring us into the 2-minute timeout. 2-minute timeout, our likely final stoppage of the game here with 1:58 remaining. Vikings on the other side. Second and goal from the 3. They'll take the clock back over to 2 minutes here as Macedo fortunately able to get up after taking a tough hit. Macedo and Bo with 2 receivers on each side. The motion Calcagno across the formation. Read option. Quarterback keeper. Pylon touchdown. Jaden Macedo in for the touchdown. Both of these quarterbacks have shown their abilities to rush the ball oh so well, but the athleticism of Jaden Macedo has been oh so great all year long. The former Base 6 all-conference quarterback from a year ago over at Foothill College, taking his talents to DVC, a perfect 10 for 10 last week with 3 touchdowns. And now he has 3 touchdowns, 2 through the air, 1 on the ground today. An illegal formation, however, will send that one back. So, with all said, he's only got 2 touchdowns now. An embarrassment of riches for the Vikings for sure. At the 8-yard line, it's second down. Vikings fans wanting an offsides here, but we'll just keep this one going. Quick pass, turns into a full-out read, and that ball a little too far in front of the outstretched fingertips of Nicholas Fox. Fox had a catch for 27 yards and a touchdown last week. The former first-team All-League selection out of California High. Only a year apart. He was a junior when Macedo was a senior. Those two definitely got some great connection if we can find an opportunity for them to get there. Play action. This time, no question about it. Touchdown rush for Jaden Macedo. Add 1 incomplete pass and add a couple more yards with a 9-yard run on the read option and Macedo on the keeper. All the way into that north end zone. $54 zip. That's where we stand. This Vikings defense has dotted their I's and crossed their T's. They have absolutely turned things around. They were giving up some big plays here and there in games 2 and 3 of the season. But over the last 2 games against 2 of the teams up north, they have been getting it done. Up to this point in the game, 112 total yards for the Shasta Knights. This is an offense that has been averaging 319 yards, so the Vikings holding them to a third of their total. Most of those yards have been coming on the ground. as they've only got 44 passing yards on the day. Jaden Crace injured going into this one after having 152 yards and 30 yards on the ground as well. And as they turn to the right arm of Riker Tweedy, it has just been a little rough for the Knights. Only 8 first downs on this evening. Guzman, a low kick off the fingertips, and I don't think that one was actually touched. That one will be a touchback for Guzman. Just kind of putting it in no man's land. So the ball spotted down to the 25-yard line on the touchback. And that is where the Knights offense, likely the last drive of the game, here with 1:47 remaining. Fighting ahead, Simone picking up a gain of 16 on the play. Delonte Henry, the freshman out of Berlin, Maryland, getting some playing time late here and able to stop the big back. It looks to be Diego Rocio into the backfield now. Tweedy will hand the ball off to Rocio. And the star punter tonight on the rush will get a gain of 3. Eventually he was brought down by Jonas Lewis. Simone will come back in to close this one out. 48 seconds left on the clock. And the Vikings defense looking to feast on some donuts after pitching a potential shutout here. Swallowed up in the backfield, just crushed by 4 Vikings defenders. It looks like all of the defensive linemen won their battle up front there. Jonas Lewis credited with the tackle here. Shasta does not need to run another play. And it looks like they'll get one more here. I got one more in me. Facing a too-high shell. 3-man front for the Vikings here. Pistol spread on the final play of the game. Give over to the back. Falling forward for a gain of 2. Jawan Dickey joins Jordan Snowden after a 3-yard rush from Diego Rocio. And that brings us to our final. 55-0. DVC turns things up in the second half, scoring 27 points in the final quarter. Jurion Dickey got her day started after a 6-play 81 drive. He had a 26-yard touchdown off the arm of Kalani McLeod to go up 7-0 late in the first quarter. It was a great job there by the Shasta defense early. And Kalani McLeod on the read option of his own got in the end zone on a rush after a 9-play, 88-yard drive that took up 4 minutes and 15 seconds. It was Garrett Isumuno with a 28-yard pass from Kalani McLeod to cap up a 4-play, 51-yard drive for a touchdown. Derry Mirage on the post, breaking a few tackles in the beginning of the fourth quarter to capitalize on a 6-play, 55-yard drive. Then it was Miles Dixon getting his lone touchdown of the night, the leading receiver for the Vikings on the evening on a 25-yard pass. Darian Mirage got his second to go up 41-0 on that home run ball from Jaden Macedo. And Cole Tome on the shovel pass from Jaden Macedo for final passing touchdown of the night. Final touchdown was a read option taken by Macedo in for the score. Final stats for you guys across the board. give us a quick refresh here, make sure we got everything up to date. 55-0 the final score here. Vikings with 602 total yards of offense compared to the 133 yards of Shasta. 44 net passing yards, 89 yards rushing to the 119 yards rushing, or pardon me, 179 yards rushing. Vikings average 5.8 yards per rush on 31 attempts on the night. Kalani McLeod finishes his night 21 for 28, 324 yards, 4 touchdowns. Jaden Macedo, 6 for 11, 99 yards, 2 touchdowns. Record Tweedy on the other side, 9 for 24, 44 yards, 1 interception on the Hail Mary to end the second quarter of play. Leading rusher in the game, 19 rushes for 135 yards, no touchdowns. For Ferrari Miller on the other side, Wyatt Simone found some success. 18 rushes for 79 yards. Diego Rocio off those swing passes, the leading receiver for Shasta, 3 catches for 10 yards. And on the other side, it's Miles Dixon, 10 catches, 137 yards, and a touchdown. Darian Mirage had 2 touchdowns on 84 yards, receiving 3 catches. Jurion Dickey, 2 catches, 43 yards, a touchdown. And Garrett Isamunu, 2 catches, 36 yards, a touchdown. Oh, can't forget about Cole Tome, 1 catch, 4 yards, and a touchdown as well. 7 for 8 on extra points as Adrian Guzman, one of those a wild snap. Vikings weren't able to convert. And touchdowns are in sacks, 2 for the Vikings, 3 for Shasta. 1 interception for the Vikings on that pick 6 play. And got to say, our player of the game has got to be Io Phillips. Io Phillips doing a great job from that defensive line spot. Got the stop on 4th down to turn over on downs, and also got a strip sack, or not a strip sack, but came back to punch that ball out. Have yourself a day, young freshman. And with that, that brings us to the end of our evening. Thank you so much for joining us here on this lovely Friday night. The Vikings going into a bye week and then going on the road to take on College of San Mateo. That will take place at San Mateo on October 11th. They go over to San Jose City College the week after on October 18th. So the next time we'll see you here will be against Foothill in about 3 weeks. So with that, it brings us to the end of our evening. Thank you so much for joining us. And for our entire production staff, Damani Jackson, helping me out with some spotting, Jordan Sandoval, helping us out with some music on the big board, as well as helping out with some replay, and Callie Medina operating the camera tonight. My name's Max Regress, bringing you all the action from DVC all years long. And as always, folks, horns up.